Hello and welcome. My name is Marc Blatstein, the physician founder of Physician Present Support Service. Today, I'm going to discuss a smoother process when you self-surrender, and that is whether you're going to a camp or to a low. Probably one of the first things is you need to know where the Federal Bureau of Prisons has designated you, and then you need to verify that they have received all of the judge's orders before you get there. And you don't want to assume that happens because it didn't happen to me. And I surrendered to a satellite camp before the orders had arrived, and they went and stuck me in isolation or the SHU. And so while it may be common that you'll be placed in isolation when you surrender to a satellite type camp because they're attached to a higher security facility, it's possible that they automatically, for a short period of time, put you in an isolation cell. But you want to be prepared for all of that. I was not prepared. And so you want to make sure that you arrive before your commitment orders, no matter how rare that's going to be, because you don't want to be placed in an isolation cell and not know. When they placed me in the isolation cell, they said I could be there for a month, and I was like nuts. But this is another reason why we recommend that where you have an interest, you put together a list of books that you would like to read based on the two a month on the number of months you plan on being incarcerated. And so following that, you would like two books to be sent to you every 3 to 4 weeks. And if you start this purchasing of books to be sent to you before you actually surrender, then maybe on your second day, you'll have something to read and not be going out of your mind. If you're designated or you're told to surrender to a satellite minimum camp, these are attached to higher secure facilities. And so you can't surrender to the camp. You have to go to the higher security facility. So just as a heads up, it's more than likely that you're going to see other prisoners in handcuffs, shackles, guards with guns, guard towers, and it's an unsettling experience. And so no one likes surprises, especially if you're going into prison for the very first time. And it's important to understand that everyone deals with these stresses in their own way. They deal with it differently. Once you get inside, though, you will be screened, be asked to squat and cough, and be given a change of clothes. All of the peripherals you brought with you, your clothes, or there's a watch, they will all be packed up and mailed back to your legal residence. You can keep your wedding band as long as it's under $100. You're bringing with you copies of your birth certificate, passport, possibly if they haven't taken it, driver's license, and social security card. These will be returned to you at the time of your release. Things that you shouldn't do, especially while you're in prison. And I know it goes without saying, but here goes the list. No drugs, no alcohol, no gambling, no sex with other inmates or with staff. When you first get there, at least for me, and I was indicted in 2006. It was a wire fraud conviction. As owner of my practice, I took responsibility in 2010. I'm grateful to have my license to practice reinstated, but I then transitioned to working with all of you because I thought I could just do a better job than as I had no preparation done for me. So you want to keep a low profile when you first get into the prison and just kind of give yourself time to get a lay of the land and look for someone like yourself. Don't spend extra time chit chatting or casual speaking with guards. You don't really want to get the reputation of being an informant. Please don't use anyone's cell phone at a moment when you're lonely because they're going to find the phone at some point. And if after you've been there a year, they find the phone and it has a phone number on it that is on your contact list, not only could you lose earn good time credits that would get you out earlier, earn time credits you could lose from the First Step Act. It might also be another charge and they ship you to another location. It's normal to be apprehensive when you get there. Understand that all emails and all letters that are sent to you are read. All calls are monitored. Never ask on a phone call for your loved one to then set up a three-way call. If you do that, you get in a lot of trouble and you don't need that. I don't know that it's another charge, but it definitely is a very serious offense. You don't want to use someone else's medications. The TV room, for those, there'll be people there that have been there longer than you, so don't change the channel. If you go into the TV room and you like what they're watching, watch it. If you don't, then just walk away. Don't miss counts. This is when the guards go through the facility and they count everyone who's in there. Every day, there's something called a call-out sheet. You want to look at it daily for your name because you may have to go somewhere, you may have a visit at medical. They may want to talk to you, your case manager or unit team. So you just don't want to miss out on any of this stuff. So don't miss counts and watch this call out sheet every day. Be respectful. I would say in prison, respect is a noun. It's very important. And you don't want to impose yourself on other people's personal space. If you're charged is deal with finances, banks and other different investment companies, mortgage companies, they may close your accounts. And that in turn will you may incur some penalty fees for having to go through that. And so what you want to do is you want to appoint someone power of attorney at home and then begin looking at smaller banks where you can begin to place your funds if in fact you have a problem. You should have an emergency contact person. What you don't want to do, as I said, find yourself on the end of receiving financial penalties as some of these investments have been forced to close. Case managers. Case managers are looking for your personal growth and development. They will also be um, offering you first step back programs for you to take. My recommendation for a number of reasons is that you should document everything that you do every day. That means some sort of journal. You can go on Amazon, find a journal that has line pages, but they have to have some sort of writing, inspirational writing, sports writing, religious writing, but they just can't be blank, but they should have line pages. And you want to keep a record of every first step back class you take and who taught it, and by day, date, and time, what you thought about it. And if you enjoyed it and learned something, note that. If you have any conversations with that are serious or in passing with Federal Bureau of Prison staff or correction staff, after you have that meeting or conversation, again, write it in your journal, day, date, and time. Why? Um, you want to keep a record of this for yourself. I look at this like health insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, all of these insurances. You hope you don't need them until you do. You have medical insurance, you hope you don't need it, but if you're skiing and break a leg, you're glad you have it. This is your insurance, having your record in your journal where you keep entering in that every day, and you make a separate, line with a separate day, date, time, etc. This is your insurance for everything and all your interactions that you have while you're in prison for every day. And again, you hope you don't need it until you do. Once you enter the federal prison, understand it's like you're landing on another planet, and that frustration and disappointment is going to test you to the very core. And it will be. Promises will be made in there, promises will be broken. You will constantly get disappointment. It can be from home where someone pays you a visit, or it can be a letter from home that just breaks your heart. Please don't try and vent on your frustrations on your unit team or case managers, because they're, you're there temporary. As long as it is, eventually you're going to be released. People who work in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, they're going to be there every day. And they have people complaining to them all the time. And you don't want to get a reputation as just a complainer. Last, when you first arrive and you're able to get to a computer, there's a first step back assessment survey questionnaire that you want to take. And the reason is when you have your first meeting with your case manager, they may offer you first step back programs or classes for you to take. If you can take the classes, but if you haven't completed your your assessment survey when you first enter, you'll be taking the classes, but they will not give you you'll not earn any earned time credits. So you need to make sure that when you get into prison, even though you want to call home first or email home first, the first thing you should do when you get to a computer is to take your assessment survey. I hope you found this helpful, and I'm grateful for you taking the time to listen to this YouTube. And again, have a safe day, and I hope this makes your initial transition smoother.